We can begin.
With LH Weekly and LHweekly.com.
Joe, put it just a little bit louder.
At Hopatcong Days with the mayor.
Okay, thank you. I'd like to welcome everyone and thank you for being here to celebrate Hopatcong Days. Before we begin, let's join together for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the
republic which stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Absolutely, that's why we're here. I'd like to introduce Congressman Rodney Friedenheisen, who's with us today. Thank you for coming and joining us. And we have Council President Michael Francis, Councilman Howard Baker, Councilman Richard Bunce, and Councilman John Young. I also want to introduce the chairman of the entire parade is Vito Castoro. Sue Parachuk is our recreation director who handles it from the borough side. She's not here. Where is she? And from HEPTO we have Kathy Bowen and Bonnie Zabita who help us down in the Maxim Glen Park. Without them we could never pull this together. It is truly a joint effort with this entire town and with the Business Association and with the HEPTO organization. We're very grateful. This is the third year that the Borough of Hopatcong and the Hopatcong Business Association have sponsored Hopatcong Days with the help of HEPTO and the support of all of our local organizations. We also received donations this year from our professionals, which enabled us to have more rides and more activities, so we're grateful for that as well. But we have started a tradition that has grown into a wonderful community weekend filled with festivities for the entire family. However, before we begin any of the planned events, we always come together to give honor and tribute to the members of our community who proudly wear the uniform of the United States of America, because without their service and sacrifice, we wouldn't have the freedom that we enjoy so much. This time together gives us the opportunity to pause for a moment and remember all of our heroes who changed the history of the world and secured our liberty and democracy. I could continue on praising our brave men and women who have given so much over the years, but I want to speak on something a little different today. Hopefully, this will change the way we look at our veterans and respond to them. Our community is very patriotic. We always have a great response for our Memorial Day parade and service. And when the Business Association honored our soldiers that returned home, we were all there with open arms. Today we have an amazing crowd to share in this tribute. But I was wondering, do we only show our patriotism and our gratitude when we are together? What do we do during an ordinary week? Do we think about our neighbors who have served in previous wars? Do we visit a family who finds themselves alone because their husband or father is serving in the Middle East? Do we ever really show our gratitude outside of one of our services? I would like to share something with you that has truly changed the way I look at those who have served and those who are serving in our military today. I was shopping in the store the other day and I noticed an elderly man who had a hat on his head with the word veteran written on the front. And I was in a hurry as usual, so I just continued on my way. Meanwhile, another elderly gentleman approached the veteran and said in a loud voice, "Sir, I would like to shake your hand and thank you for your service." Those words stopped me in my tracks, and I couldn't help but turn and listen to their conversation. The veteran put down the things he was carrying, and he started to tell the man about himself and his experiences during World War II. While he was speaking, his eyes lit up, and he seemed to actually stand a little straighter. The other man asked questions which the veteran was very happy to answer. Then they both shook hands and went on their way. As the veteran turned to pick up his things, He looked at me with this beautiful grin, and his smile was so precious that I will never forget it. People in the store heard the conversation, and they stopped what they were doing and they smiled as the veteran moved through the aisles. It was a beautiful tribute to a man who probably walks around with that hat on every day, never expecting anyone to notice the words that were embroidered on the front or to even care. I don't know if the man who actually stopped to shake his hand was a veteran, because he didn't talk about himself. He just listened. But that small gesture spoke volumes. The message that was passed from one heart to another by that handshake was this: I recognize what you have done for me, and it means something to me. And I want you to know how grateful I am for your service. We have to ask ourselves, does that word veteran mean something to us only when we are attending ceremonies? Or do we really appreciate them and all that they have sacrificed to secure our way of life? How many times do we pass men and women in uniform and never acknowledge them in any way? How many times do we attend ceremonies for our soldiers but never take the time to shake the hands of the veterans standing in our own midst? Today, I would like to propose something very different for our tribute than just listening to me speak. Today, I would like to ask one question. If you have served in our military, would you please raise your hand? Everyone, please take a good look around and take notice of those who proudly have their hands raised. I would ask that today, while you are enjoying all your activities, that you would stop and shake their hands or give them a passing smile. That small gesture will let them know that you recognize that they have done something for you, that it means something for you, to you, and that you are grateful for their service.